you'll know we're close to a friend. After this, I'll be on the mend. You laugh and point while I lay there on the floor. My pain is your rejoice. Blood or bruised, it's a Sophie's choice. If there's chance for pain, you'll sit back and watch it rain. And if I threw a party with dancing candles and a cake, I would find that your gift would be unkind, and the card attached would say, you'll know we're close to a friend. You really hate me, you'll know we're close to a friend. You just don't like me, you'll know we're close to a friend. You despise me, the box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power College for box score.
Welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock here in Los Angeles, joined by the Danets in Milford, Connecticut. A big old weekend of sports. We're back here on a Monday, of course. Let's start with Barcelona and soccer. Paulie, would you take that UEFA Championship over all of the playoff games played this weekend combined?
Oh, man. I watched quite a bit. I watched the entire match. It was a pretty good match. But, you know, I had it in the rundown today, but I didn't really think Dan was going to touch on much because I'm not sure what to do with it. One of the most expensive, richest teams in the world won a big, expensive, money-buying tournament, so there wasn't really an angle to it, so we didn't really work it in, which is fine because there's got to be a story with it.
Well, there was hoops, and LeBron and the Cavs won Game 2 of the finals to split the series now at 1-1. McLovin, what was more disappointing, the officiating or Steph Curry going MIA?
Well, it wasn't disappointing if you were a Cleveland fan.
Who are you rooting
Steph
for?
Curry. I was rooting for the Cavs because they were the underdog, and then because everybody was rooting for the Cavs, I started rooting for the Warriors last night. So I'm going to change on every game depending on where the public
It was weird. For some
going.
reason, though, last night I found myself rooting for LeBron. So I was like, oh, dude, hit the shot, and I have no idea why.
I was especially because late in the game, it looked like he got jobbed a couple of times with Iguodala, smacked him on the arm, and then on the jump ball where what's his name?
Draymond Green?
Yeah, when Green looked like he was like kind of grabbing on Draymond Green was grabbing on his neck. So those were at least two moments where I felt, and nothing was called, but I felt like, you know, that's ridiculous. So
yeah, but did you find the Cavs getting a little obnoxious last night? They were up by 12 or 11. And the entire internet, it's like, oh, the Warriors are dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a team that hits threes at like 7 a minute.
But that's the internet being annoying, not the Cavs.
I know, but I took it out on the Cavs.
Annoying? Everyone on the internet was...
The internet was like uber. Even the announcers, Jeff Van Gundy was talking about Game 3 when there was like 3.5 minutes left, and it was an 11-point game. It was just
against a team that specializes in threes.
I know, it was idiotic.
McLovin, you're just still tense about that Game of Thrones. All right, well, Reggie Miller, of course, called in and talked about the disappearing act of Steph Curry.
It's one game. It's one game. As much as we've marveled at some of the exploits that he's put in one games when he shot the ball great, it's one game. What MVP does and what great players do, they come back and we're judged on the series. Let's judge them on this series. Now, the benchmark will be from Game 2 on because we were like, uh-oh, okay, Kyrie, no Kyrie, Dellavedova inserted into the starting lineup. You struggle in Game 2. So let's wait for this series to pan out before, you know, we crucify one game by the MVP.
Yeah, you got to give Curry a little break there. You know, he's been so great with his with the threes all season long. They wouldn't be anywhere near as successful where they are now without Curry. He's not a robot. He's not a machine. He's not going to just pop every shot as much as Warrior fans want to see that. So you know, hopefully he can he'll come back in Game 3 in Cleveland and bounce back, which I think he will. I know we were talking about during the show over under 30 points, how much he's going to put up tomorrow night in Game 3. I think he's going to bounce right back. And again, just weak at Game 2. Again, the guy's human. He's not going to keep popping every.
That's what I found
shot.
so funny about the Dellavedova. Like, he's a shutdown, lockdown, whatever, all this great defensive stuff. Where like Steph Curry usually hits those shots over people anyway, so it doesn't really matter. He just had an off night, you know.
Absolutely, and people just sort of tend to rain pressure down all over these playoffs. Now, in Game 2, I think it was Tampa Bay, the goalie, Ben Bishop, left late in the third period, probably because there was speculation that he was going to dump a puck in his own net, as it were. Seton, if you're Bishop, what do you do in this situation?
You skate off the ice and go to the bathroom, is what you do. There's no doubt about that. I could tell you that there's so many times when you're about to start a 3-hour show and you look up and you're like, oh boy, we're like 2 minutes before we hit the air. I probably should have gone to the bathroom earlier.
But you don't tap out and leave.
No, you don't.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Was it an extreme makeover situation?
Well, I'm also just sitting there. I'm not doing anything physical and like trying to get the puck, do all this stuff. I'm just sitting there doing this.
He's
for
mostly
3
just standing
hours.
there going like this.
Yeah, but I do get a break. You know, you do get breaks here and there that you're like, all right, I only got 15 minutes here.
He gets 18 minutes every 20 minutes.
But it's a lot longer. It's a lot longer of a 20 minutes than my break.
I gotta tell you, if this is the reason this gentleman tapped out, which is unproven, I think that's soft. You know, Serena Williams had the flu the other day. She somehow got herself together to play. And tennis is a lot more movement than a goalkeeper.
And we know athletes in other sports have done whatever they had to do to stay on the field.
Right.
Football,
but he kept coming back. He didn't leave. He left and come back. I think you got to consider just going for it in your full uniform. Because those hockey, see how big those pads are?
Let's just throw it out there.
Keep people out of the crease.
Do you go to the bathroom or do you crap your pants? Which is it? Let's get it out there now on the record.
I'd say there's an extra benefit.
You crap your pants.
If I could crap, look, it's embarrassing.
Diarrhea.
Yeah, let's not. It would be awful to do that, but not if you win. Tony Stewart.
But what if your performance is negatively impacted by the poop in your pants?
Well, then if you feel like you're not doing your job as well because of any situation, you should tap out and let the next guy in. But that's tough.
Well, why don't you just skate off, go to the bathroom, and then you don't have to worry about it?
Are you allowed to come back on the ice? You can't. Can goalkeepers replace themselves like any other player on the ice? I assume so.
I think he can. I think
Yes,
I'm not
they
positive.
can
It's a good
too.
question. I think he can come back in.
Yeah, he came
Thanks
back
for the
in.
help with that.
Ben Bishop came back in.
He was running in at a shift.
Oh,
sorry.
Let's believe that.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart told us a situation. I asked Dan about this. Tony Stewart once ate like an entire watermelon the night before a race. Watermelon's a very conducive fruit, vegetable, whatever you call it. And he evacuated in his fire suit with 20 laps to go, and he won the race. And
oh man,
he ran. At the end of a NASCAR race, you were supposed to go to the winner's circle, do your interviews, do your thing, and then do some interviews. He parked.
You can't do national TV interviews with a bunch of poop in your pants.
Yeah, with a full poop in your pants.
Could you though?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
You should not. So Tony, and he told Dan this story on the air like 7 years ago. He ran to his trailer, disembarked, toweled off his undercarriage and so forth, and ran right back to the media circle. And Dan, I brought this up to him. He goes, well, you know what? That's an individual sport where he's in the car by himself, kind of hot boxing himself, you know, not others.
Yeah.
The other drivers probably aren't catching it at 210.
You just can't do that out on the ice.
Yeah, but I
just
tell you
can't.
what's the
You have to take it
You're
back
keeping
into the
the
locker room.
enemy. You're keeping the offensive guys out of the crease.
No one's coming in the crease.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. In fact, it might be something that they want to look into. You know, you don't.
Disgusting.
Everyone hates skating on brown ice.
You wouldn't elect. Now let's comment that. You wouldn't elect to do it. You wouldn't elect. Like
Depends where the game is going.
I'll tell you what, I had an extreme situation about 2 weeks ago.
Here?
I went to, no, not here. I went out, I got a little Five Guys, I got a burger and some fries and a big soda and was like, all right, cool. And then I went out and I looked at a whole bunch of guitar stuff, and while I was in the guitar store, I got that like gurgle.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guitar store.
And I was like, oh crap, this is not good. And I had to I split, right? I was just like, oh dude, I'm just gonna go home. And I got just about out of the parking lot, and the panicky sweat kicked in, and I was like, I had to run.
This wasn't part of a mall.
And I ran into like a fast food store and evacuated, and then left and got looks when I came out.
Did you buy anything from there? Just
I did not. I don't ever plan on going there ever again.
Yeah.
I'll never step foot in that place ever again.
You have to pick a fast food store you really don't.
Now, if that's the situation, okay, and I don't care if it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, in that gurgling moment, there's no way I'm out on that ice. No way.
No way.
Yeah, you goalie. Your backup's not bad. He's good.
Back to you, Brock.
Yeah, okay. I think it's safe to say we'll all be looking at the crease tonight. Coming up, we will recap a race for the ages. That's horse racing. That's not Seton getting to the bathroom. Seton, you want to race me? You can hop on the back of American Pharoah. I, myself, will take the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Oh, Beast versus the truck? Not even fair. Can tow a boat, haul a trailer, climb a hill, and it will win the Triple Crown. You better believe that. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. God's glory, Ram.
Belmont Park, 12 furlongs of pure fury. What's a furlong anyway? I know Edward Furlong, the kid in Terminator 2. Liquid Terminator was badass. How'd they kill him anyway? Wasn't it like a vat of molten steel?
Welcome back to the box score. On Saturday, American Pharoah became the just the 12th horse to win the Triple Crown. American Fritzy, you live closer to Belmont Park than the rest of us. Did you consider taking your family over there to see sports history?
Seeing it, with the family on TV was fine. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to see it or not, just kind of like with the Cubs. You want this to keep going on and on with, the hype every year of waiting for next year, Now that it's happened, if the same horse wins the first 2 legs next year, I'm very curious to see if people are going to be excited or faux excited about seeing back-to-back Triple Crowns, or since it just happened, who really cares if it happens again so fast?
Oh, I think we'll care, and hopefully Bob Costas will be there. He joined the show today and talked about the historic race.
There was no question he's the best horse. There's no question that you ran a gauntlet that seemed close to impossible. It was getting to the point where people began to believe that no matter how great the horse, there were just too many things that could derail a Triple Crown bid. And what was proven, I guess, over the past 5 weeks is it may be close to impossible, but that only proves that if someone does it, if a horse does it, that's a truly great horse with truly great connections, jockey, trainer. So I think what they saw wasn't just something that was exciting, but they knew it was certified legitimate.
Yeah, so I guess confession time. I didn't see the race. I didn't
What? Oh yeah, were you at a...
I was out. It wasn't like I just stepped out for a
You were at a
cigarette.
baseball game, right?
Yeah, I was out at the baseball game, and then I was just like, oh crap, man, the horse actually won. Maybe I should have made more of an effort to go find a TV to watch this,
Yeah, we're in the middle of baseball.
3 minutes of television that would have been worthy. But then I was like, well, I'll just sit here and drink this beer.
Paula, you were at a Triple Crown party. How many people assume that you have inside scoop since you produce for Dan Patrick?
I think we all get that a little bit, like, hey, what do you think's going to happen? I was like, I have no idea. I literally couldn't name one other horse besides American Pharoah, which name I cannot spell. So I tell them, like, I have no idea.
I like Otter's Delight. Like, what? I don't even know that that's it.
But in our job, though, if you say you have no idea, they either think you're being like blown them off, or even worse, that you really have no idea. Which we have to have some idea in our sport. But there's guys who will be at a bar, restaurant, whatever party, and they'll start breaking it down. They're like, I was act like I know what they're saying.
Get that a lot around like draft time. Like, so who are the Jets
Who are my
taking?
Giants
You know,
taking?
I don't know, man.
Ted. My name's Ted.
No idea.
Well, on Friday, Paula, you half joked that McLovin should join NBC's Triple Crown coverage. It seemed like there are at least a dozen sideline reporters out there, so there's room for you, McLovin, next year. So what is next for DP Show's Horse Whisperer?
Well, it's interesting. The person who interviews the jockey right after they wins is a former jockey, because you have to have a lot of skill to actually do that interview. You have to be good on a horse. I think it'd be really funny. I'm terrified of horses and can't ride them. What if they put me on a horse and tried to interview the winner? That would be really funny.
Well, maybe you could do like a spoof piece, a series of spoof pieces. Because what if you took like a really good racehorse and you try to see how fast you could get around the track and compare it to what American Pharoah did, and have like one of the side-by-side digital things?
Oh my God! You mean like ride a horse around the track?
Yes.
That sounds terrifying.
Exactly. And either you're going to get hurt, you're going to scream like a child, or you're going to go really fast. Either way, the viewer wins.
I think there's like a 60% chance I would break my neck doing that.
Fantastic. Sign me up, because I mean, that's, I think, your niche here. You don't try to like out Costas, or...
And then imagine the topic is horse racing too dangerous? And then all of a sudden it turns into this huge thing.
I'm the face of a movement?
You're the face of a movement.
Fritz used to be a face of a movement. You could be a face.
That's right. Why not? We could both have different movements. I think it's something to consider.
Theme show.
Oh, I thought we were talking movement, Ben Bishop. Oh. All right, I'm telling you, McLovin, you got to go out there to the Iditarod, become the sideline reporter for that. That'd be epic.
That's mine.
Stay
I call it.
tuned.
Oh,
we have an epic battle. It is mock headline, Battle Royale. We're back here on the box score, guys. Another huge weekend in sports. We had the NHL and NBA final and finals, but the real story was the fringe sports. Didn't get all your fringe sports action covered? Well, that's where the guys come in with another edition of
Mock Headline Battle Royale.
I give you a headline, you give me a mock headline. The first headline, gentlemen, American Pharaoh becomes the first horse in 37 years to win the Triple Crown. Let's start with the back row and McLovin.
American Pharaoh horsed around and got a Triple Crown. A little ice cube.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's very nice. Paulie.
I couldn't rhyme with Pharaoh, and I didn't know any other horses in the Derby, so I just made a statement of the oppressed people involved in horse racing finally catch a break.
Thank goodness.
That's a little 1% humor right there. I like it.
Could have gone Clarence Darrow. Fritzy, what do you got?
I got Pharaoh Fawcett, Major's accomplishment by a beautiful horse.
Oh, that is Burning Dead Bright. Very nice. Seats in your mock headline.
American Gayro. Horse racing fans happy for Triple Crown winner.
Very nice.
Happy.
Lovely.
American.
Happy,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Like the 90s. 1890s, that is. Second headline, Germany defeats Ivory Coast 10-0 in round one of the Women's World Cup. Front row and Paulie.
The Deutsch bag another World Cup. I'm German, I can say it.
Fritzy.
Holy Schnitzel, no soap for Ivory Coast.
Seaton, your headline, please.
Sticking with the theme today, Crappa de Ivory. Germans feeling loose after stinker of a game.
9. And finally, McLovin.
Let's... Ivory Toast. Women didn't show up in Drogba of a loss. Who's a soccer insider now, Paulie?
Didier Drogba throw on.
From the Ivory Coast.
Super inside. Our third headline.
Yes, Wikipedia.
NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace fails to qualify for X Games Super Trucks medal race. Fritzy, let's start with you.
I went with Rusty Trombone. There's always triple X games for Wallace.
Yes! Yes!
Last week. That's a Friday
Oh, I was hoping for it and you start off with
that
that.
one, huh?
Seaton, you're next. Womp, womp.
Well, apparently I'm going there too. Gave him a Rusty Wallace, which according to Urban Dictionary is a guy who proved X-gamers are more athletic than NASCAR drivers. Gave him a Rusty Wallace.
McLovin, what do you got?
I'm going a totally different direction. Rusty takes a vacation after getting Chevy Chase off the truck course.
Still clever.
Vacation, yeah.
Still
Rusty
clever.
is going to pork her, that Rusty.
Gonna fork her.
Maybe he drives a Chevy.
Yeah, Paulie.
Again, no headline here. Don't the X Games have an age limit? Rusty Wallace is like 65 years old.
Yeah,
Ageist. All Paps.
I assume
There's a headline for you. All
X to
Paps.
that.
Ageist.
Ageist. All right, finally our last headline. Tiger Woods shoots 14 over at Memorial, finishes last time for the first time in his career. Seaton.
A real clocksman? Question mark. Tiger's foreplay more like a solo session these days.
Fritzy.
Yeah, like Coxman.
I know, boy.
He's trying not to say Coxman.
Coxman. No.
Todd Fritz.
Yes.
A painful memorial. Time to get a swingers coach.
Why would they like that one?
Well, word
Paul.
on that one.
Yeah, Paulie.
Give it up, man. It's 14 over.
Ooh, wow. Direct and hurtful. I like that.
I'm gonna do this.
Finally, McLovin.
All right, bear with me here. A weem away, a weem away, a weem away, a weem away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the tiger sucks today.
Okay.
A weem away, a weem away, a weem away.
And the winner of the belt is Seaton. Congratulations,
Wow,
sir.
that's not deserved. Not deserved. I'm gonna pass this one off to Andrew Perloff.
Yeah.
You won, pal.
It's your turn, the rotation.
Yeah, Rusty. That was a good one there. All right, don't go away. We are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, does not need one. It continues and writes mock headlines throughout the week. Has them ready next Monday. Good for you, Ram Truck. Guts, glory, Ram.
Greatest American athlete of this century.
Wow. Paboom.
Yep.
Well,
I can run through the list.
you know what you could say for a stretch of time, even though now it seems ridiculous with recent results, but at the turn of the century, you could say that Tiger Woods was a master of his game like no other, unless you were counting Barry Bonds on steroids, and I don't.
Ooh, welcome back here to the box score. Just mixing up a rusty trombone there. A lot of talk today on the show about the greatest athlete in the last 15 years. Paulie, who do you got?
Serena Williams. I think she's had the most success, the least failures, and she's never really dropped off too much. She had a couple injuries, but you know, LeBron's right there. Tiger has had too many off years. You know, Tiger is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 over with his sport. So Serena.
Serena, good choice. Well, I'm not sure how I would have answered because Mr. Poll Question really sent us all for a loop.
It feels like a poll tailored towards individual sports, though. We have a lot of Michael Phelps, Shaun White, Serena, Tiger. I'm going to make an argument against many of these individual sports guys. They're in sports that don't have a ton of access. Michael Phelps is not going against the whole world like Lionel Messi is. Because not everybody has access to swimming. Where swimming, they're all from 3 states in America. It's not, you know, it's different. He's not competing against the world. Where Messi, everybody's playing soccer.
That's one of my against the grain bits, my standards. That here's the thing: Messi's competing against 50 million kids who want to be the best in soccer, and none of them are Messi. Michael Phelps is competing against like 3,000 people who actually consider competitive swimming.
Right, but I don't think that even factors in who is better at their sport. I know what you're saying. He's better than 10 million kids or 500,000.
It's a much more remarkable achievement to be Lionel Messi than to be Michael Phelps to me. That's why. I mean, it's incredible. Like Pele, the whole world was gunning for this guy. And you know, here's another argument, side argument. LeBron, if LeBron is 6'9", you're born with that 6'9", like basketball, that immediately knocks out like a huge percentage of the population. I don't know. It's so hard to decide. Like, Dad's like, do you mean greatest or most accomplished? And we're like,
but it's not like Messi wasn't born with a certain skill set.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, you can't just teach your kid to be the greatest soccer player in the world. I mean, you can to a degree.
Yeah,
you have to work at it, but yeah, it's not like, you know.
But Messi is not remarkable physically, though. That's one of his things, right?
Except that his skills with his abilities with a soccer ball, it's a certain amount of that is born.
Yeah, speed, power, the speed and power that he has.
Does he have more speed and power compared to other players? I feel it's up here.
Combined, he's like a very thick dude. He's a little bit like a miniature LeBron in the fact that he can't be covered by big guys and he can't be covered by small guys. And I guess that's a little.
I played soccer for a long time and I was awful. I was just as bad from the day I started to the day I stopped playing on an actual team.
But there's still a lot of people.
And I worked at it. I mean, it's not like I just showed up and was just like, okay, kick it, and then I'm going to go smoke cigarettes over here. I really tried to be good, and it does not happen.
You always have people that are like, well, if all I did all day was just practice tennis, like I would be great.
Yeah, like bowling.
You know, or any sport. If all I had to do was just hang out in the batting cage and just swing at balls, eventually I would be great.
Remember, for every Tiger Woods or Serena Williams father, there's 10,000 other fathers who also push their kids just like that, and they don't make it anywhere.
And went to special camps and everything.
They make it to like a C-level athlete. There's one in a billion go to that level.
Yeah.
You know, Serena Williams had a sister, and they end up both being best in the world, which is why it's such a unique story.
Well, Seton, let's go with you. Whose career would you rather have? Some fringe guys, Kelly Slater or Tony Hawk?
Ooh, my.
Well, I would have to say Tony Hawk, even though Kelly Slater's clearly like the greatest surfer of all time. But you could also say that Tony Hawk probably is too. He certainly had the biggest impact, and I spent a lot more time on a skateboard trying to be awesome than on a surfboard.
It's a no-loss situation.
Well, skateboarding is a true love of mine.
No sharks in skateboarding. You're out there with the sharks in surfing.
Yeah, there's a lot of cement though.
Yeah, there's very little cement while surfing.
Yeah.
I'd rather die on cement. Sharks is my greatest fear.
But so far, Kelly Slater has not been eaten by a shark. So
far.
You only, I guess it does only have to happen
It's any
once.
day now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
Exactly.
Kelly Slater's scars are cute. He's probably got like a little one over his eye on the surfboard. And Tony Hawk is like Evel Knievel, has got everything broken.
That's true.
And plus, if you look at Kelly Slater's made a nice living for himself, and he's always tan, and he's always got like some super hot chick with him or whatever. Tony Hawk has like a gajillion dollars.
I know. Tony Hawk, like he's basically, we have to pay Tony Hawk $5 to do
just
this
for
show.
this segment.
He owns, he owns
I'll take
everything.
that too.
All right, Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
All right, we may hear from Warriors assistant coach Luke Walton. Mark Jackson may check in. We are open right now, but those are a couple of the possibilities for the Tuesday.
Positive vibes, Fritzy.
Positive vibes. Luke Walton. All right, we're back tomorrow, same time, same channel. The podcast is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Cheers, Jack.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy